Good morning from Disturbia on the 1st of January 2025. Ostensibly, inconceivably, and probably, the 1st of January is not the real and authentic beginning of a new year, but rather the 1st of April. I wanted to continue this documentary of a video that I found here on YouTube. Who is True Israel? You can find this on the internet. It's readily available. The comments are still up. My experience with this Christian American Ministries is that they will often, or he, Matthew Dyer, the owner of the channel, will often erase comments that he doesn't like. On the other hand, I've noticed that, for example, I was having a discussion with somebody on this, on the comment section of this video about Esau. Now, these people here are telling you that Esau has the birthright because he was the firstborn. My argument is actually from the scripture in Genesis 25. Rebekah is pregnant with twins, Esau and Jacob, and they're fighting in the womb. And Rebekah asks God, what is going on? And God says, there are two manner of nations, there are two manner of people in your womb. The elder will serve the younger. This elder will serve the younger is, to me, proof, or at least an indication, that Esau, who came out first, will serve Jacob. Which he did do in the very beginning. Esau broke the yoke of Jacob off his neck after the reign of Jehoshaphat, because Jehoshaphat, some people call Jehoshaphat the ecumenical king of Judah, joined forces with the wicked Ahab of Israel. Ahab's father was Omri. Omri was of Judah. So King David of Israel was ruling in Judah over both Judah and Israel. And later on, after King Solomon died and Rehoboam took the helm and the reign, the kingdom was split, and Jeroboam, who was actually a nephew of King David of Ephraim, was king of Israel in Shiloh. And then the capital was moved to Tirzah, Tirzah, or Z-A. And after Omri became king in a mutiny, Omri was actually, I do believe, captain of the chariots. And the problem, anyway, I don't want to get into too much about these kings because it's quite a lot. I don't remember everything. But the fact is that Omri was of Judah, and he moved the capital to Samaria. So what you've got is you've got these two nations, and God does say that Esau will rule by the sword, which is also confirmed by Isaac later on in the blessing. Now we're told, these people will tell you, even though they're telling you that they're Israelites, they will tell you that Esau got the birthright and Jacob stole it. Jacob did not steal the birthright. There's two issues. You've got the birthright and you've got the blessing. And under normal circumstances, the birthright officially goes to the firstborn, but we know God appoints the firstborn. For example, with Jacob, the firstborn was of Leah, who was a counterfeit wife, smuggled in on the marriage night between Jacob and Rachel. But Leah was put into Jacob's bed in the dark, and Leah had a boy, and the firstborn boy's name was Reuben. But Reuben did not get the birthright, even though he was the firstborn. We are told traditionally that Judah got the birthright. Judah did not get the birthright. It's written in the Bible. People talk about that, but it's written in such a way that it is very minuscule so-called evidence in light of all the evidence given for the fact that Joseph is the firstborn. Joseph was the firstborn of Jacob, who was a shepherd, and his wife Rachel, who was a shepherdess. When Jacob met Rachel, she was feeding the sheep. She was a shepherdess of the sheep, a keeper of the sheep. And their firstborn, the issue of the real marriage between Jacob, Israel, and Rachel was Joseph, who was sold into slavery by Judah. People will say that the kingdom of Israel and Judah, the kingdom of Israel, which included Judah, was split under Jeroboam, but that is not true. The kingdom already split when Judah sold his brother Joseph into slavery. You can read about this in the Psalms actually too. Psalm 105, 106, 107 covers this history, talks about Joseph being put in irons. If you actually read, this is why it is imperative that you read the Bible, because the difficulty is discerning if you don't read it. Just listening to these teachers will not help you because they are not telling you the truth. This one is named Carl Tester. He says he comes from Australia. I don't know. To me, he's got a real British accent, but with a really certain kind of a slang that I can't identify. But to me, it sounds almost like Cockney to me. But of course, it could be an Australian accent too. I don't know, and that's not really the point. The thing is that we've got these people telling you, we are of Israel, and then they're explaining the Bible in a way that is not true to trip you up. It's unfortunate because these children are apostate children of Israel and Judah, and they are doing the bidding of Esau. Just take a look at Psalm 83, where it talks about the conspiracy to eradicate the real true children of Jacob Israel by Esau. If you look today at the Noahide laws, you can make the connection. You see, it's been a very long time since the pregnancy of Rebekah, but this struggle that went on in the womb of Rebekah is the struggle that is continuing on today. And the problem is that the children of Jacob Israel have given in and given up and given themselves over to Esau because they don't know any better. Partially, it is because of the chastisement and their punishment for going into gross idolatry, which included child sacrifice, which is abortion today. And they were taken into captivity, sifted through the nations, as it says in Amos 9:9, in order to purify the seed. There is a literal seed. And we are told in church that it's a spiritual seed. But if you read the Bible, you will see that God made a promise to the seed of Abraham. We're talking about people here. We're not talking about spiritualism. We're talking about literal people. And the reason why the literal people of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob are a blessing to the whole world is because these are predominantly the ones and the only ones who were the disciples of the Messiah, Jeremiah 46:16, They were called Galileans, Matthew 26, I believe it's 73, Acts 2, just like Messiah is called a Galilean because he was born in Galilee, Bethlehem. They keep telling you it's Nazareth, but it's really Bethlehem, and the original Bethlehem was in Israel, where King David was born, and they want to cover up this fact. But if you do a little bit of looking and research, you can see that what they do is they conflate terms and then they switch them. It's a bait and a switch. And it's imperative that people know who they are, because like I say, we're coming up to the time of the beast. And even 200 years ago, it's important that we knew. And people did know, but the information has been lost. And I'll tell you why the information was lost. The Messiah was crucified by the children of Esau, who sought to kill the Messiah even before he was born and after he was born. The name of the king Herod is an Edomite name. He is a son of Esau, and you cannot deny it. It is in the scriptures. But these people try to tell you what the truth is, and they're covering up what's actually been written. And what's been written, people don't want to read because it's too hard. And I know I keep saying this, but it's the more you say a thing, the more people realize it. That's why we have media. That's why we have brainwashing. And I'm trying to maybe reverse some of that, if I can, in some small, minuscule way. So these people crucified the Messiah, and the Messiah said, when the shepherd is smitten, the sheep will be scattered. And the sheep were again scattered, and many of them were slaughtered. And yet still the Bible was translated into the vernacular. Jan Hus, for translating the Bible into the vernacular in Czechoslovakia, or whatever it was called at that time, Bohemia, actually. That is the seat of ancient Assyria. I started saying that yesterday, and I interrupted myself, unfortunately. Jan Hus was burnt at the stake. William Tyndale was burnt at the stake for translating the Bible into the vernacular. The people that printed the Bible, produced the Bible, distributed the Bible, and even read the Bible. These were the children of Jacob, Israel. This is why they are a blessing to the world, because they brought the Bible to the world. And into the tribe of Ephraim was born the Messiah. And this is the truth. And I keep saying it because I understand. I'm always presuming that people read the Bible when I do these videos, and I know that they don't. So that's why you have to keep going over and over the same ground so that people understand it. So this was why the children of Jacob, Israel were slaughtered. And people like this want to continue that in covering up the fact that Esau is dwelling in the tents of Shem. I know it says Japtheth is dwelling in the tents of Shem, but Japtheth is related to Esau. And Esau is counterfeiting Jacob. Ezekiel 35, Ezekiel 36, and many other places in the Bible where it talks, and Obadiah, perfect example, or Amos chapter 1. Just read about how the whole captivity of Judah was delivered up to Esau. And Esau ruled over them. We're told that it's Babylon. Esau is therefore Babylon and Mystery Babylon. Why is Babylon a mystery today? Because very, very few people know who it is. Why don't they know? Because first of all, they listen to teachers like this, and Sheldon Emery, and Pete Peters, and Comparet, and Wesley Swift. They will tell you that the Jew is Judah, and that is a lie. If the Jew is Judah, who is Esau? Oh, Esau is the Catholic Church. Wait a minute. The Catholic Church is Roman, and the Romans are the Philistines. The Philistines originally came from Kaftor, which is Greece, Crete. I realize that Greece is a big country and there are different areas and this and that, but very, very generally speaking, and actually definitively speaking in this case, the Philistines came from Crete, Probably because God destroyed their island at the beginning. There was probably a volcano. There's a reason why they went over to the mainland. And these people were sodomites. They worshiped the fish god, who is the beast from the sea. Abaddon, Revelation 9:11. And it's so important that we know this, because this beast from the sea is rising. He is going to be manifested on the earth very soon, and people like this are going to tell you that it's the Messiah, the real Messiah, Jesus Christ, returning back from millennial reign. The millennial reign, the golden age of Satan, is coming next, the man of sin. Just read different occult authors to find this. I mean, I'm not pulling this information out of thin air. I've gotten it from different, and I'm not saying that I'm an expert. I'm just telling you that I'm telling you the truth, and many people aren't. Many people who are more expert than me, better speakers than me, better prepared than me. I do these videos off the top of my head at the leading and the guiding of my Father in heaven. And they're not perfect, but it's proof that I'm not trying to fool you. In Ezekiel, we read all the prophets talk about false teachers. And if I'm fooling you and lying to you, your blood is on my head, just as like it's going to be on this guy's head if he doesn't straighten up and start telling the truth. We have to speak pointedly, because we're at the first of the year now, 2025. They keep going on about it. Of course, if they're going on about a thing, they're probably distracting you because it's going to be something else. It's just like they did with the year 2000. Nothing happened the year 2000. It was a big anticlimax. What happened was 9/11/2001. You see, God says in the Bible, do not rest on your laurels like the people in Laish did in Judges. They were a people at ease. And when you see these words in the Bible, it's not really code, it has a meaning. If you're at ease in Zion, that means you are not studying. That means you are not vigilant. That means you are not watching. You're not watching for the signs. So, anyhow, I hope it's clear till now that Esau stole the birthright. Okay? And these people are going along saying that Judah is the Jew because Judah just changed his name, abracadabra. You see, this is what media is all about. This is what these false teachers are all about. What we say matters, not what the truth is. What did the Messiah say? For example, in Matthew 15, what is it? 15 verse 3, I believe it is. He said, your traditions of so-called Moses transgress the laws of God. What does that mean? It means that their traditions, for example, circumcision, all this killing of the animals, this preoccupation with the penis, this is all transgressing in opposition, in rebellion to the laws of God. It means that they are antichrist and satanic. This is what people have to know, and not listen to these media personalities who are lying to you. But let's just see what he goes on to say.
I have spoken with him on his YouTube channel. I hope that this online conference will be a success. In this presentation, I'm going to presume upon your knowledge. I'm going to presume that you have a basic understanding that the Anglo-Saxon, Germanic, Celtic, Scandinavian, and kindred peoples are the only people that fulfill all the prophetic earmarks that identify them with being the literal physical descendants of the ancient people of the Old Testament.
That's true. However, like I said yesterday in part 1, Germany is the place where everything took place, and this man is going to deprive you of that information. They do not want you to know that Germany is Assyria. Just take a look at Caesar when he came up from Rome. Where did he come? He came up to this area and he slaughtered many Hebrews. They don't want you to make that connection. They don't want you to connect the dots. That's what they are here to do. They are here to seduce you into believing deceptive lies. Germany is also right. Look at Hitler. There's a reason why Assyria is a driving force for Esau. Esau uses all the forces at his command. Tribe of Dan, Germany. Ishmael, Islam. When I drive around here in Germany, I'm seeing all kinds of shops that are Middle Eastern. And not only that, but Hinduism is on the rise here also. Why is that? This is the land of the Hebrew people. Hebrew derives from Eber, and so does Europe. It's all related. But over the years, the language has been changed, sometimes wittingly, sometimes not unwittingly, or sometimes unwittingly, sorry. And so people don't know that automatically. But the more you study, the more you understand, the more you dig, the more comes forth. Gold, but also quite a bit of dirt that you have to sift through. So let's continue, because I'm coming to the end of my time here.
On as Israelites. I'm going to take this as a given as I proceed. So when I speak about Israel, the children of Israel, their dispersions and so on, I'm speaking about the progenitors of our Western nations that moved from old Canaan land. They came northwest through Europe into the Britannic Isles. They went far west to settle what became the...
Okay, the point is that they're not only Anglo-Saxon people. They're also Dutch people, Norwegian people,